YouTube family is your favorite melanated brother from Nebraska. Yes, there are plenty of melanated people here in Nebraska, in the great state of Nebraska. So I know it's been a little while since I dropped some content, been extremely busy. But you know, whenever I make the time to drop some heat, man, I got some heat for you. So we're continuing in the book that we've always been continuing for the past 3 or 4 pieces of content. America's the True Old World, the Original Africa, okay? There's a lot of chapters in this book that deserve to be gone over and deserve content to be made about. We're in one of the chapters, can't remember exactly which chapter we're in, but I believe we are in chapter 2. Oh, excuse me, take that back. We are in chapter 4. We're kind of jumping around, okay? I'm just bringing content about in regards to what I believe or what I feel like is extremely pertinent things I know you guys would like to hear about. So this is going to be one of those things. There's a chapter in here, there's a part in here in this chapter where this book states that it is a possibility that Nikola Tesla was a Blackamoor. Nikola Tesla was a Blackamoor. Now, I know the pictures that we see of Nikola Tesla is not a black man, but there is a picture of him in here on the next page that describes him, that shows him to be a black man. It's a possibility, y'all. I'm not claiming that is fact, but we're gonna go over the information that this gentleman presents in this book that describes Nikola Tesla as a black man or a Blackamoor. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Figure 67, which is on the next page, is an image of Nikola Tesla as a swarthy, dark black man. Figure 68 is Tesla coil design, which we'll see on the next page as well. Notice that the Tesla coil is a coiled copper serpent. It's built around a circular circuit cross pattern and a magnetic pole to generate free electromagnetic energy via creating an electromagnetic field, which is also called a torus field. What is so striking about the cross or four corners design is that it's a symbol of Mount Meru, Mother Mary, Motor Mary, or the Garden of Eden, heaven on earth, which is a figure of 49, which is much earlier in this book. The knot or bullseye or ring of the torus field in French is Nedor, gold knot, which abbreviated is north, north, and it is concentric rings in French is a new one on. And when the French say Hmmmmm de Anyaka and Anunnaki, they are doing phonetics for what really reads El Home de Naquet, or mankind born from the ring. All living beings, bees, on this planet exist as a torus field, like in this motor Earth. See figures 41 and 49. The Moors, aka Saracen Muslims, built Greco-Roman and Gothic architecture all over the world in a circular cross pattern because their aim was to create Mount Meru, or heaven on earth, the biblical Garden of Eden, via free energy and having a resource-based economy. Now, there is a link that you guys can check out, which gives you more information on what the gentleman just said. Yes, the Moors had an Eden style of government before it was corrupted via the Spanish-Roman invasion of the 1500s. A lot of things changed in the 1500s. So let's go ahead to the next page. We're gonna go ahead to these figures here. There's the picture. Figure 67, Nikola Tesla, the famous inventor, depicted as a black man. All right, let's move down further. Figure 67, the Tesla coil resembles Mount Meru. Figure 68, the Atlantean Egyptian priest king Ptah holding 2 oscillators in his hand with the digit pillar, quantum computer, with the head of the serpent or dragon homunculus coming from the top of it. And that is the picture. I know it's kind of hard to see. Apologize, guys. But yeah, that picture is there. Figure 69, the anatomy of the human brain. Notice that the corpo callosum resembles the head of a copper, which means that we have serpent or dragon in our heads. Now that is what this gentleman is saying. I don't really too much want to focus on that, but I really want to focus on Nikola Tesla being a Blackamoor, or the possibility of it. Let's go ahead and continue on the next page. All right, let me back up just a little bit. Tesla, Master of Lighting by Margaret Cheney and Robert Utt. Nikola Tesla, immigrant, arrived in New York in 1884. The eager Serbian immigrant was 6.5 feet tall, slim, and 28. He was laughed at in some circles, partly for being of dark complexion. Nikola Tesla, A Spark of Genius by Carol Domermuth Cost. Women were naturally attracted to this dark, handsome, and intelligent man. But Nikola would not offer affection to any of them. Now, these are quotes from individuals who have books out in regards to Mr. Tesla. Tesla, inventor of the electric age by W. Bernard Carlson. Given his personal charisma, tall, dark, handsome, and mysterious, his efforts to develop his willpower as a boy, and his supposed interest in physics phenomena, is not surprising that Tesla crops up across New Age sources and practices. Prodigal Genius, The Life of Nikola Tesla by John J. O'Neill. Tesla, 32 years old, was tall, dark, handsome, slender, and suave. Okay. Tesla, The Life of an Electric Messiah by Nigel Cawthorne. He is fully 6 feet tall, very dark of complexion. Wizard, The Life and Times of Nikola Tesla, Biography of a Genius. A reporter for the Niagara Gazette greeted them upon arrival. Tesla is an idealist, the journalist wrote. Fully 6 feet tall, very dark of complexion, nervous and wiry. Impressionable maidens would fall in love with him at first sight, but he has no time to think of impressionable maidens. In fact, he has given as in his opinion that inventors should never marry. The fact that Nikola Tesla was a swarthy does not surprise me, since so-called black peoples, Moors, or Indians have invented over 90% of the world's inventions. Now, there's a link that you can go ahead and check, which backs that up. Americastheoldworld.com, Black History Month. There was no Croatia, Siberia when Tesla was born, because it was all Russia during this point in time. Even the country of Georgia was once part of Russia. From 1811 to 1918, Georgia was under the Tsar of Russia. Their culture survived intact. From 1918 to 1921, Georgia was independent and then was part of the Soviet Union. Tesla was Russian and hence a Tartarian. All Tesla was doing was resurrecting old Tartarian tech. Figure 68 is another image of the Atlantean god, which we saw here. It is this individual right here. This picture here is of the Atlantean god. Figure 68 is another image of the Atlantean god. Ptah, Utah, Judah, Yuhiti, Yucatan, Tahuti, holding the Jed pillar, the spinal column / quantum computer. But in this instance, you can see the head of a dragon or serpent, Naga, coming up from the top of the Jed pillar. The dragon or serpent head is the homunculus, the little human, or the magical genie in the lamp that ancient alchemists used to create with alchemy. The Book of the Cow by Sufi Muslim Jabbar Ibn Hayyan talks about how magicians were able to use alchemy to create the homunculus, little human, different life forms, comets, and all life on this planet. The Book of the Cow was also discussed how the homunculus was used to give the creator / owner power. Now that we know this, we can assume that the Jed pillar or Jedi sword staff is indeed a magical wand that the gods of Egypt / Atlantis were often depicted holding. Magic equals advanced technology, and it is just a byproduct of alchemy. Every war involved magic / advanced technology. Now that's interesting. I believe that. They gave the people God / religion to hide alchemy. God, Thoth, Enki created Adam and Eve with alchemy because Adam and Eve had no parents. I'm not enforcing that. I don't honestly believe that, but That's what he's saying, which means that they were created in incubators by God, thought using alchemy. You know what I believe. You know how I roll. Think of God as an ancient human being with advanced quantum technology. The concept of creating life in incubators was used recently by the elites in late 1800s and early 1900s to create incubator babies that they put in orphan trains to repopulate the world after a global reset. Almost every World's Fair had incubator babies as an exhibit. So what I like to do is I like to chew the meat and spit out the bones. Not everything I believe, but for the most part, we have individuals quotes in regards to describing Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla, A Spark of Genius by Carol Domermuth Cost. Women are genuinely attracted to this dark, handsome, intelligent man, but Nikola would not offer affection to any of them. So we have quotes describing how Nikola Tesla was, how he looked, what type of individual he was, and they all describe him as tall, dark, and handsome. And this is the picture of famous inventor Nikola Tesla depicted as a what? A black man and or a Blackamoor. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. I hope you guys learned something from that. Okay, I'm going to be reading more information out of this book. And this is just a great book, guys. I really think you guys should get it if you have the opportunity to. America's the Truer World, the Original Africa. I mean, there's a lot of information in here. There's a lot of resourced information in here. You can, go and confirm this stuff. This guy's not using information that he's not making up information. He's using other people's quotes, right? He's using other people's information in books that don't even look like him. A lot of the information that he uses aren't from people who look like him. They're from people who say that he is using quote unquote pseudoscience or, pseudo history. But you know what? I would say this. Now that we've gone over the history of this country and we see that we've been lied to, I can say that the history of this country is all pseudo at this point. So, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's your favorite black guy from Nebraska. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.